The news of my death has been greatly exaggerated, Mark Twain said. Well, the other day I was in a thrift shop looking for a small table we want here for our office. And a woman comes up to me, very nicely dressed, and asks me, "Are you Pope Michael?" And then we began a discussion. She's watched the documentary, which a lot of people have. There's apparently a lot of discussion in St. Mary's, Kansas about Pope Michael, which is what prompted her. When she saw me, she thought she recognized me. I have aged a little bit from the documentary, I'll have to admit. In any case, she came up and asked. Then we began a discussion, and one of the things that came up in the discussion was that there's a story out there that I've quit. And I said, no, I still think I'm Pope. I am still pursuing things. In fact, another thing happened in the May 2021 Olive Tree, which came out recently. In the Pope Speaks, I wrote, "We have begun working on our plan to establish a house of prayer in a rural setting and retiring there for prayer." Well, someone mentioned the word retire. Maybe we shouldn't use that word. And I hadn't thought about it. Now, I don't believe this Pope Speaks influenced this woman because it had just come out, I think, that very morning. And so, am I retiring? No. I have absolutely no plans to retire. And let's go back to the Pope Speaks. Also, zoning must be favorable for having multiple lora, that is, small sheds for people to live in and retire to prayer, as well as a place for a church building. See, I'm wanting the proper zoning for this project. We do have some of the funding in place to actually begin looking at property, and people are looking at property. I myself am looking at property, first online, and then, of course, you've got to go look in person. We're already having discussions with several priests about what type of property do we want, where do we want it. And we've had some really good input already. We look forward to hearing from you folks. Is there some place you see that we could be useful, that maybe we should go over here rather than someplace else? And so we're not retiring, we're actually launching a project. And we got specific. Someone asked, okay, let's set a timeline. So I said, on or before April 25, 2023, I want to be breaking ground someplace. Now, there are two ways of going. We can break ground and go new, or we can buy an existing property and then just upgrade it if it can be made feasible. And of course, we're going to need help. We're going to need advice. We're going to need, donations, people to come and actually work when there's construction going on, because no matter what we get, I don't think we're going to get what I would call the, quote, perfect property. There's going to be work that needs to be done. So on or before April 25, 2023, break ground if that's the route we take. Which means, because we've talked to places that sell modular homes, you need to be ordering the fall before. I haven't set an actual date. I would probably go with the Ember Week in September. In 2022, we should be ordering the modular. The reason I would go with the Ember Week, those particular Ember days are important to me. Like April 25th is the anniversary of Peter's entrance into Rome, which is why we have the Greater Litanies on April 25th. I thought, this is a good date to aim at because it has significance in the church, and I put it 2 years out because I don't know what it's going to take to get everything in place. The good Lord has blessed me with some of my own investments that will be going towards this. And no, Mom's not dead yet, but my plan is to use my inheritance when I get it to go towards this project. So I'm going all in. I would like your help as well. So no, I'm not retiring. So I decided, though, to look into Scripture. And of Jesus in Luke it says, and he retired into the desert and prayed. So the word retire, it doesn't mean I'm quitting a job like it does now. We have this purity of speech problem now. Words have gotten different meanings, which is why when someone was proofreading the Pope Speaks, he said, maybe you shouldn't have used the word retire, and you've used that in the past. Do you want to retire, like, quote, to the desert to pray? Not that I necessarily want to go to a desert, but I'm prompted by Apocalypse 12, when the church, the woman on two wings of a great eagle, goes into the desert, where a place is prepared for her. Are we approaching that time? We could be. Do I want to go to a more rural setting? We do want to have a better studio for our work, which we want to expand here. I have to watch out. Siren got me when I was recording a sermon the other day. I actually had to stop. I don't know if it can be edited around or not, or if I have to re-give that one. Now, another place in Scripture, which when Jesus had heard, he retired from thence by boat into a desert place apart, and multitudes having heard of it followed him on foot out of the cities. I want to go to a more rural setting. Actually, we all want to go to a more rural setting because it is more conducive to prayer. Let's face it, there are distractions in the city. In fact, there are a lot of people around here who are dependent upon me, which that is a consideration. So I'm not retiring, my friends. I am moving ahead. And after I get finished with this cup of coffee, I have to get back on working on the next sermon. May God bless you all.